I might have made a video about this before, but I don't think I have for some reason, so hi. I don't understand how people can hate each other over something completely baseless, or even if they think they have a base for it, it's just... Okay, so racism is fucking stupid, but I'm actually going to talk about mostly Islamophobia, so basically people who fucking hate Muslims for no fucking reason. And, well, okay, their reasoning is they think they're terrorists, and they think they hate women, and they think that they're, you know, these awful people who have no respect for, or like hate everyone who's not Muslim, and all sorts of other bullshit like that, or they think that all Muslims are responsible for what 0.001% of them do. There are actually a higher percentage of Christians who do bad things than there are Muslims who do bad things. So, yeah. So anyways, actually saying that kind of makes me think I've made a video about this before, because that sounds familiar. Oh well. So I think I mentioned it in a video, but I don't remember actually making a video on it. But yeah, now obviously I'm not Muslim, and I've never been Muslim, because if you haven't been watching my videos, I was raised Catholic, and like super uber duper Catholic, like had to go to church at least once a week, and everything was related to God. I had to go to a youth group, I had to go to Bible school, I went to Catholic elementary school and high school, and it was just God all over the fucking place. And then as I got older, I was like, no, fuck this shit. And as I got older still, I realized, no, Wicca, that's my religion. Anyways. So, but one of the main beliefs of Wicca actually is there are many paths to the same destination, and the destination is just being content with your spiritual beliefs or lack thereof. So, Wiccans be like, dude, believe whatever the fuck you want as long as you're happy with it. So we don't really care. And honestly, like, when I was in high school, one of my best friends was Muslim, and I always found it so annoying when people would say that Muslims were evil and that they were awful people and you know, all this other stuff, because this guy, he was like the sweetest and the most innocent and the most like pacifist guy a person in general I've ever met. It was like, I remember when the whole, like, Chris Brown, beating Rihanna thing came out, and he was just so shocked that someone would do that to another person. Like, he was innocent as fuck. It was adorable. And, yeah, so I was always like, yeah, no, Muslims, no, they're fucking cool, man. And besides, I've seen, like, all sorts of other stuff on the internet from Muslims, and I remember in grade 11, I took a world religions course, and of course we had, because it was either that or take fucking Christian religion class again, and I was like, okay, I've done, like, freaking 10 years of this shit, I'm done. So, yeah, I took world religions instead. And it was really interesting to learn about all the different religions, and we did a unit on Islam, and luckily I had a little extra help on that unit because I had a best friend who was Muslim. But anyways, but yeah, and do you know why they have the women wearing the hijab? Is or niqab? There's different words for it. The most commonly known is hijab, though, because there's different types of headscarves depending on what country you're from. Yeah, it's not all just the same, by the way. Anyways, the reason for that is for equality purposes, not oppression purposes, because it's so that you're not looking at the fact that the person is a woman, you're looking at the fact that the person is a person, you know, not getting distracted by things like hair or their body. Now, you know, I'm the kind of person who's like, who's against things like, you know, girls getting in a shit ton of trouble for the dress code violations and stuff like that, so whatever. But Muhammad, the holy prophet of Islam, he believed in equality, that all human beings were equal in the eyes of God. God doesn't see color, so there's no racism in Islam. In that women could be just as capable as men. And before you say, well, women are so oppressed in those countries, no, they're fucking not. Only in the really poor off countries. There's plenty of Islamic countries where, actually there are far more Islamic countries with female leaders than there are Christian countries with female leaders. And there's far there's far more, university, college educated women in far more Islamic countries, and basically, actually, in a lot of places that are, well-off countries, the women are treated completely equally, even if they're still wearing like a burqa, maybe even, and it's like, like it's people always see Islam as this sort of, they don't realize that Islam is a huge religion. It's not like a bunch of, random people huddling in the desert and then a few people randomly in the Christian or first world or white countries. Because frickin' everyone considers, like, America a white country or a Christian country, even though it's totally a fucking melting pot, and it's, as far as cultures and race goes, its entire population is, except for like the 1% native population, is made up of immigrants, so whatever. And it's not a Christian country because there's separation of church and state, dudes. Anyways, but yeah, so Islam is the second biggest religion in the world, like like as far as like the world population, like percentage of what religion, Christianity has the most, and then Islam is close behind them. So it's not a tiny religion. It's not like, if all Muslims were terrorists, everyone would be dead because of there's billions of Muslims worldwide. So yeah, chill the fuck out, dudes. It's a rather peaceful religion, actually. And everyone's like, well, what about jihad? It's supposed to be an internal war between the good and the evil inside of everyone. That's what jihad is, the holy war going on inside of you. Like, to quote a cartoon, the little devil and angel on the shoulder you see in cartoons, it's kind of like that, there's this, I love this metaphor I learned when I was younger, metaphor, I don't know if that's the right, anyways, so there are two wolves fighting inside of you. One of them is anger and fear and hatred, and the other one is love and peace and all this stuff, like good traits. And the wolf that wins is the one you feed. So it's kind of like there's duality within everyone, the good and the evil, the negative and the positive, the light and the dark, which the last two of those aren't necessarily good and evil, but depending on your religion, for example, in Wicca there is no absolute evil or absolute good. But yeah, at the same time we're like, don't fucking hurt people and don't kill people. And be good to others. So, because in actually a lot of religions that aren't the most religions other than the big three monotheistic religions, there's no absolute evil, because they think there's just, different types of entities and energies, and some of them aren't so great and some of them are pretty good. But it's just like they associate darkness, like nighttime, it's just different. It's not better or worse, it's just different. You need the dark to appreciate the light and all this other stuff. Anyways, but yeah, Islam is all about being, like, I don't know, being, all men or all humans, or all of man, I guess, even though it's not, whatever. But yeah, just, it's kind of, now, obviously I'm not an expert on Islam, so if I got anything wrong in this video and you're an actual Muslim person, feel free to correct me, because again, all I know of Islam is from my best friend in high school, and, the one unit within one semester of a world religions course I took. So, and also other stuff I've learned online, like I didn't know about the different types of oh yeah, and then there's this show that Canada had, to show how much better Canada is than the States, that I learned some stuff about Islam too. It's called Little Mosque on the Prairie, and it was about these, about a few different people, Muslims, in this Canadian city, and it was just kind of, every episode would be dealing with something, or it was supposed to be, like, it was kind of like a sitcom, sort of, but like, okay, it was, okay, Canada's a lot better when it comes to sitcoms because they don't have fucking laugh tracks, like, frickin' Corner Gas, only with Muslims or something, like, but you don't know what Corner Gas is if you're not Canadian, but it was a fun and funny show, and they dealt with stuff about Islam, and all this other stuff, like, they had an episode about, there's this, one of the main characters has a daughter who's a teenager, like a young teenager, and it was like, how old do the women start wearing the hijab? And there was another one about how, there's one of the woman, Fatima, I think. She's the only name I remember because I really like that name. It's pretty. Anyways, Fatima had injured her knee, and so she has to do aerobic aqua therapy, and it was the whole thing about, you know, going to this, because she thought it was going to be a woman instructor with a woman's class, but turned out to be not, and all this other stuff, and, you know, dealt with the fact that they can't have pork, they can't date, and they can't have alcohol, and all this other stuff, and they did it in a kind of fun, happy, open way, and it was really cool, and it was comedic, and it was fun, but it was still very respectful, and it was good. And so if you want to watch and learn what like day-to-day Muslims are actually more like, then just watch Little Mosque on the Prairie. So go Canada for having a show like that. So I think that's part of why Canadians are a little less Islamophobic, is because we're a little bit less assholes unless you're Native, because the Canadian government doesn't give a fuck if you're Native. Fucking assholes. Fucking assholes. Fucking fuck the assholes. Anyways, this video is way longer than I intended. This always fucking happens. I can't stop talking. Like, once I start, I can't shut up. Okay. Thanks for watching.